This TikToker was sentenced to 12 years in prison after recording himself doing a TikTok challenge. Now, what TikTok challenge could get someone 12 years in prison? Well, driving at 150 miles per hour, then crashing into another car and killing 6 people. Now, you may be asking yourself, how is that a TikTok challenge? Well, there was something else going on. So this is Noah Thomas Gale, who was a 17-year-old from Florida. Now, Noah was infamous on TikTok and other social media platforms for driving his 2019 BMW M5 way too fast. And this isn't the first time that someone has, quote unquote, blown up from recording themselves driving at dangerous speeds. I mean, we've seen it with people like Squeeze Benz, who was a popular YouTuber that recorded himself driving recklessly. But Noah didn't just drive at insanely fast speeds and then, record himself and upload it. He did something a lot more dangerous. Noah would record himself driving in his sports car, and then he would do a challenge with his followers. The challenge was that Noah would drive super fast and record the road, and then the challenge would be that his followers had to guess how fast he was driving. And if one of his followers could, correctly guess how fast he was driving, Noah would send them money.
Gali built a following on Instagram and TikTok by posting videos of himself driving at excessive speeds, according to court records. Viewers were offered $25 via Cash App if they correctly guessed how fast he was going.
Which is, just so unbelievably stupid. But on January 27th, 2022, Noah set out to record another, guess how fast I'm driving challenge, but this one ended very, very badly. Noah was driving his sports car at around 150 miles per hour, probably also filming on his phone while driving that fast, when he slammed into the back of a Nissan Rogue, killing 6 people in the car.
Noah Gali, a teenager, was behind the wheel of a BMW speeding at 151 miles per hour when he rear-ended an SUV carrying 6 farm workers.
The 6 people in the car were farm workers who were leaving their jobs. And man, it's just so heartbreaking. A teenager who would do dangerous stunts while driving, all for TikTok clout, tragically ending the lives of 6 people who were, just trying to return home to their families. Because that's the problem with people who post themselves driving recklessly on social media. Not only are they endangering, their lives, but they're also endangering every other person who is unfortunately, has to share the road with them. Like, it's just so avoidable, but yet people think that they're going to get, internet clout over doing things like this. After the crash, investigators started to investigate Noah's social medias, and that's where they found that, he would frequently do the guess how fast I'm driving challenge. The investigators found a video of Noah going 182 miles per hour in his sports car. Yeah, 182 miles per hour, and then challenging his followers to guess how fast he was going. It's just beyond idiotic, to be completely honest. And this is all in the name of getting, the slightest bit of internet attention. And not only would Noah drive dangerously fast, but, he was also recording on his phone. He was trying to get the perfect angles so that, the video wouldn't, expose his speedometer so that, his TikTok followers could guess his speed. Like, stories like this just really make me so angry. 6 people are just trying to get home from work and their lives are ended because someone wanted to record a video for their TikTok going 150 miles per hour in their $100,000 sports car. It's so insane to me. And honestly, what is even more insane about this whole situation is that it actually turns out that Noah's father is a prominent attorney in Florida. And although his father, didn't represent him, but the crazy part is that just a few weeks ago, Noah actually entered a plea deal with prosecutors to avoid his case going to trial and, to receive a reduced sentence. Noah pled guilty to 6 counts of vehicular homicide and was sentenced to roughly 12 and a half years in prison, followed by 7 years of probation. For comparison, without the plea deal, Noah was facing a minimum of 55 years. But Noah's attorneys argued that, Noah was suffering from health issues at the time of the crash, and he apparently briefly lost consciousness before he plowed into the back of the Nissan Rogue, of course, ultimately killing those 6 people. Now, firstly, I mean, many people are upset about the, only 12 years in prison. Many feel that, he should be serving more time. And honestly, I sort of agree.
We talked to a relative of one of the victims of that crash, and she told us, quote, "We're glad he is arrested. and we hope he gets what's coming to him.
No amount of time will bring back the victims for their families.
The relatives of the crash victims were not in court for the sentencing.
The victims all have written to us that they do not object to this.
Not only did he kill 6 people, but he also had a long and documented history of driving at very illegal and dangerous speeds on the highway. And not even just the highway. I mean, he would do this on just normal roads. I just think 12 years is just such a light sentence for what he did. And the whole health issues thing, like, I mean, just come on. He had health issues and lost consciousness before the accident. Then what about, you know, the times where he was driving 180 miles per hour, you know? Was that a health issue that made him drive that fast? Now, I understand that, you know, people do have health issues, you know, while driving that could lead to accidents. But I guess it was just the fact that he was going 150 miles per hour, and also the fact that he records himself doing this and he posts it to his social media for TikTok clout or whatever. And I also find it funny that after Noah serves his 12 years in prison, you know, once he gets out from prison, he has to wait 3 years to get his license. He had a 3-year suspended license. Like, just never let this dude get his license ever again, and we can just, you know, completely avoid all of this. It's just so hard to, you know, even feel the slightest bit of sympathy for Noah. Like, I understand that, you know, of course, accidents do happen, but in Noah's case, it wasn't an accident at all. It was literally just bound to happen. Again, I could see if this was his, you know, first time driving this fast and he lost control, you know, okay, but, you know, that's still bad. But having a long history of doing this and then killing 6 people because of it, it's just insane to me. And I just think that the 12 years in prison is way too short. Also, I find it funny that as part of his sentence, Gale must post a video to social media at least 1 minute in length, sharing his story and advocating for the importance of safe driving. He must also complete 800 hours of community service, complete a 12-hour driving course, and attend a panel where crash victims share their stories and how their injuries affected their lives. Yeah, so he killed 6 people. He only has to serve 12 years in prison, and then once he gets out, he can wait 3 years, get his license again. All he has to do is some community service and make a video on his TikTok basically saying don't drive fast. But I mean, I just don't think that's enough for what he did. I mean, but maybe the 12 years, you know, in prison, maybe he will rehabilitate, and maybe he will realize what he did was unbelievably stupid and that he should never do something like that again. Hopefully. I mean, that's all that we can hope from a situation like this, is that, you know, when he actually does in 15 years, once he's able to get back on the road, that he actually learns from his mistakes and doesn't do anything like this again, because it would sure be a shame if he got out of prison and then just, you know, history repeats itself. That would be a really big tragedy. Now, if you guys want to see how this TikToker was involved with the biggest NFT scam of all time, make sure to click here.